Hello and welcome to Glitch Point. All right, so yeah, we are coming to you at the end of E3, but before we dive into that all, I just wanted to note something that happened right before E3, which was the announcement of both the Xbox Cloud Stick that fits into your TV, like the Fire. It's like basically a Fire Stick, and then
Mm-hmm.
also it being integrated into newer televisions. Uh,
Yeah.
I think this is huge. I think this is super important for Microsoft's move into our lives. I just if you don't have to have a console, and if their infrastructure gets good, as they're going to continually, work on it throughout the years, and if it gets to the point where, yeah, if you have a good internet connection and you're paying your ISP or whatever you're paying, yeah, enough money, you can enjoy a console-free home with
Yeah.
all the games you could possibly want. That's insane. I mean, that's I am all for, this is kind of like in the realm of get rid of the cables, get rid of the console, get rid of everything. I mean, I'm for minimalism and
Yeah, no, there's I mean, yeah, that the minimalism in me is like this is amazing. But I'm glad that they also came out around this and said like they're still dedicated to specifically console hardware. Like PCs are always going to be there, but it's from the sounds of it, at least for the next gen or two, we're still going to get some dedicated Xbox hardware. And I don't know if it seems like they're pretty focused on it, which internet has a way to go before it can fully replace it, but at some point, it is cool though. I mean, the fact that you're buying a TV and you get a fucking Xbox is practically what you're getting.
well, I mean, it's just, yeah, I'm glad that they're giving us both choices, which is something that is the new Microsoft, which is all about choices. I mean, we see this in the operating systems now. You can use Linux inside of Windows. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like they're all about choices, and it just, the user just get whatever they want and use it how they want. But I think the big play for this is, and this is something that we talked outside of the show, but is for AR and integration and stuff. These smaller devices that are going to be coming to us. I mean, if you can, because now you don't have to have any computational power on the device. Hell, you could play. What's to say you can't play, cloud gaming on your watch, or
Jesus Christ.
what does it matter? Like, because the device doesn't have to be anything. It's just a screen. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like watching Netflix on your watch or anything else. It's just
Yep.
streaming, and then it just sends out the controller button presses, and it all happens on the server. So it's just, I don't know, the move forward for them, and like, with the HoloLens and everything there, I'm really excited about this because I think it just allows them to have a step forward in this deviceless world where I think we're going to live in 30 years, or
Yeah.
wherever. I don't know where it's going to drop, but
No, and what I really enjoyed was the CEO that I'm not going to try to pronounce because I always get wrong, but he mentioned they're bringing this up of like Microsoft's current mission statement or vision is to empower people to do more across every industry that Microsoft's a part of, and gaming being one of those. And yeah, like this answers a lot of Microsoft questions of like now they don't need to make a handheld device to compete with the Switch because they've arguably are already doing that because your phone now your
yeah.
TV or your laptop or your iPad or literally anything like you said with a screen that can have
Well,
an internet and a controller.
I mean, they're already attempting to go. I mean, I don't know if they've done it yet, but they're going to the browser, which is
Yeah,
the
I
end
think that's
game,
already
right?
in testing now, or
Yes.
somewhat of like yeah, which means ideally that would work on
Anything?
everything. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I would imagine that's just gonna work on iPad if I just go to the browser.
Yeah.
But
And it's unstoppable. No one can shut that down. I mean, unless they want to say you can't visit certain sites, which
or
is,
just doesn't support a certain browser. But at this day and age, yeah,
I mean, I'm sure it'll be ubiquitous across all browsers. I don't,
yeah. I mean, we're at a point where the browser game is just kind of it's Chrome based because Edge is now Chromium or
yeah,
whatever the fuck Safari's built off of, and whatever Firefox is. Maybe no, Firefox isn't Chromium. I
I
don't know
don't
what
know.
Firefox is.
Yeah. Um, but no, and now, they're gonna. I'm really curious about all the ideas that are gonna come for Windows 11 when that does. When we get more information about it. Now that it's confirmed and it's I mean, that we're actually gonna get a new Windows
Yeah,
altogether, not just an upgrade. I think this is gonna reveal a lot about what Microsoft's future is and the thoughts about. I wouldn't be surprised if 11 has a lot of cloud elements to it. Especially one thing that I really want to see is I don't know if it has to be all in the cloud, but I definitely want to. If I install an application, one place, I want to go on any device and have the same Windows experience and it carry over. And that's something that's really bad about Windows. But, and we talked about this last time with the package manager. I mean, that's what I was going to use the package manager for, is so that I could write a script so that I could make sure that all my packages are the same across all my devices. Because it's a pain in the butt to remember. I write them down, if I can. I mean, I have a lot of scripts that will take care of it, but sometimes it's just something in the console that I totally forgot I did. And then I go to the other device, it's not there when I need it. And it's like, what did I do? But yeah, so I am super excited about this. I'm pro Microsoft. I know that, I'm sure there are people out there that still feel the old way that we used to feel about Microsoft, but I don't know. I feel like
I really like the direction that they're going, for sure. I'm excited for Windows 11. I mean, this is going to be the first Windows that this new CEO, from start to finish. So this is the first Windows from this new Microsoft that we're seeing, and we have seen for the past while. So I'm hoping that it's not just minor stuff. I'm hoping for some really big changes, but we'll see.
I think it's gonna take a lot of notes from Linux, to be honest. I mean, that's kind of where a lot of the advancements have done. It's just like they're taking notes from other pre-existing operating systems like Linux or Unix-based systems.
Yeah.
And I hope that they embed all that stuff deeper into the operating system and just get rid, because right now there's a duality in Windows, which is kind of a pain in the butt. You have WSL, which allows you to do Linux-based operations, but then you also have PowerShell, and there's just they're separate, and you have to treat them separate. It's a little bit of a mess. You kind of have to choose to utilize one or the other. You can't. It's hard to use both.
Yeah, I know this is for developers and they're gonna use what they want, but it's you need to say, do you want to support PowerShell or Linux? And just choose one, please.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to jump between. Because there's some things in Windows you have to do. It's annoying as shit.
It is. Okay, well, I mean, that's all I really wanted to say about that. I just want to make sure we didn't skip over it. But we have a lot to talk about with the E3. And yeah, dude, did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, so I did not really pay attention much to all the other E3s, and from what I've seen in the aftermath, this season of E3 has been pretty boring. But I think Xbox really just kicked it out of the park this year, and yeah, I did watch the whole thing, and it was very exciting. I think this is one of their best ones that they've had, and I think it's the best one just because they finally are getting the payoff from all these fucking studios they've bought. The past 3 to 4 years has just been this, we're buying more, we're going to do it, and it was just kind of but when? And now it's oh, here it is. We're finally seeing it all pay off, and I think next year's going to be, they didn't even show off some games there that I was oh, I really was hoping to see that, but they showed off a shitload.
Yeah, and there's a new Slime Rancher. Yeah, Spencer does not like Slime Rancher.
I'm not the biggest of fans, but I'm glad Slime Rancher's community is getting a second game. It looks cute. The game is cute. I just will not be playing Slime Rancher 2.
Yeah.
But for me, right off the bat, the biggest thing that was unbelievable, I couldn't believe it, and I think this is the thing I'm most hyped for, and this is over. Well, there is Halo, but is the Sea of Thieves expansion in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Yeah.
That was out of nowhere. I've been playing Sea of Thieves recently a lot, and I was sitting playing there, and having a fun time because the game's really great and it's come a long way, and I'm well, it'd be great if something came out of E3 for Sea of Thieves, something cool. And I cannot believe that they got. This is the Sea of Thieves dream of all time. This is what we've wanted since day one. Just give us Pirates of the Caribbean, and that's exactly what they're doing. Which
is awesome, because it brings more to that both universes, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will go out of just curiosity to see how they take the story, and just where they start, and if they're telling their own story or if they're integrating stuff from the movies. Who knows?
Yeah, they said it's an original story, and it's its own campaign style thing that Sea of Thieves is getting. So it's honestly really fantastic. I couldn't believe it. I still don't. But it's coming out in 5 days.
Yeah, we'll have to watch all the. You have to watch all the movies.
Oh yeah.
before you play.
But let's see, Starfield. I mean, we didn't see much, but I'm really enjoying how the game seems like it's gonna look.
Yeah,
Um,
it was nice. It was nice that they gave us, kind of inside the cockpit, an actual launch type thing. And so we got to see, what the vehicles will look like or what the ships will look like, which is
yeah,
nice.
I'm really enjoying the aesthetic. Like, they're definitely. I was worried it was gonna be very Outer Worldsy, because I mean it would just make a lot of sense. But it seems that they're going their own direction with more of a grounded sci-fi. I think they called it a NASA punk style,
Yeah.
which is very interesting, and I'm loving it. I really want to see more. I really
As
want
long
to
as
see
it's not
more.
like Kerbal, what's
Kerbal
that
Space.
space
I don't
program?
think
It was
so.
that thing is challenging. I couldn't take it if it was that NASA
Yeah,
based. But yeah, no, it's I think it's good. I'm glad they put it at the beginning of the show.
yeah,
Got it out of the way because there really wasn't much, and I think if it was at the end of the show, it would have felt like, meh. There's all
yeah.
this other stuff, and so it's kind of like, here we don't have a lot, but this is what we're going to show you. And we're just going to show you right away, um, which was good. And I thought it. I don't know what the order of everything was right now, and I probably have
I
to
know
look it up, but
there. I mean, it
kind of
was
forgot.
insane
But
how big this one was. 90 fucking minutes of
yeah,
stuff, and it was like back to back. There only took a little bit of time to breathe. Granted, my one complaint was, holy shit, was Forza 5's part so long. We did
yeah.
not need to see. It was almost a joke by the end of it, because it was like, okay, yes, it's Forza. It's very pretty, and we're in Mexico. We know what this game is. And then he just kept bringing you to new places. It was like, but I want to show you this screenshot of our game, and I'm like, oh my god.
I think that just goes to like how close it's done, and each one of these games only has, and they want to basically narrow it down to the best shots and the best stuff that they can show to kind of entice you. And I think that Forza probably had the most, so they're like, well, we just want to make this 90 minutes, and
Yeah.
I was actually, I really liked it. I really liked watching the Forza stuff because it's been a while since I've been excited about a driving game. And I never played any of the other Horizons, but I do
Oh,
like
they're
the
fantastic.
the open world aspect of it. So maybe I was more excited because I've never done it before.
Yeah, no,
Um,
yeah, the Horizon series. I mean, they are, for me, as a huge Need for Speed fan, and then they died. That franchise just got beat to shit. This
yeah,
is a Need for Speed game. Like, it is really, they're all amazing, and I'm excited for Forza 5. I was actually very surprised that we got a Horizon game instead of the Motorsport. Like, I was expecting a new Motorsport, because usually those were like, it was Horizon and then Motorsport switched off every year. But it seems like Motorsport's coming out next year, so it's going to be 3 years of gap for the new Motorsport game. So they must be doing something really big over there.
yeah. I mean, maybe they're putting. It depends where the sales are too on each game, like how much. The funny thing is, most people that I talk to like the Horizon games better.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely more for the casual player. Like, the Motorsport is
So
very specifically sim, and that's not for everybody.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I like Gran Turismo though, and I never really liked the motorsport.
Yeah, that's why I really wanted to see what they're doing, because they're obviously not just making a new one. They're doing something new with the game, and I don't know what it is, and I really want to know. Because Horizon is just more. It's the same thing. They've added a little stuff here and there, but it's about the same game again, which I
Oh, is
expected.
it?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a different locale,
yeah, it is.
but about
But
the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it is fun to watch driving games because they do really do the graphics nicely.
I know.
You
Like, I'm looking at Horizon, I'm like, fuck, this game
it's
is
insane.
goddamn gorgeous.
Yeah. I don't know
Um,
how they do all that. It's pretty incredible.
yeah, it is
But
really
it's
pretty.
it's true that driving games always look better than anything else, and I don't
mean,
know
yeah,
why that.
I think it's just because they're a driving game. Like, they're very specific at the gameplay. It's not like emergent. They really know. You're also traveling at hundreds of miles an hour, so the game doesn't have to look good all of the time. They can
Yeah, you
really
should.
get away with motion blur out the ass.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
but it's very pretty for sure.
Yeah, it's very pretty. Yeah, there was like, there was a lot of games here that I was not expecting. I mean, Redfall was one of them that I just from Arcane.
Oh, that was the game they
Vampire
end.
one.
Yes, that looked really cool. I mean, it was all
Yeah,
cinematic, but
it was also. I'm just glad that Arcane's doing something. It's almost like I don't care. I know it's gonna be good because I just trust Arcane.
I mean, yeah, this is Arcane Leon, I believe. Or no, this is Arcane
it?
Austin, who are the guys who did Dishonored and the guys who
Oh.
did Prey.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
these guys have the fucking track record of track records. So yeah, I had no doubt, and I'm sure the game's gonna be awesome. It seems like
yeah.
I mean, shooting and vampires sounds awesome.
Well, I just really like the gun types. I thought that was probably the most interesting part about the video was just all the, I don't know, it just looked interesting.
Yeah.
I can see it almost being I know we have a Left 4 Dead to talk about, but I could almost see this game being a similar Left 4 Dead, but just without zombies. It's quicker, like
Yep.
you have, and that's awesome that we'll get two games that are in that similar vein, which are team survival onslaught games, or what, I don't know what you want to call it, but horde
Yeah.
games. But maybe it's not. I couldn't see this being a storyline game. It has to be a horde game.
It's I don't know.
It's
too early. Who knows?
Yeah.
The other one that was rumored for a while was that, and it piggybacks off another rumor, which is Contraband, which is the new Avalanche game.
Yeah.
That appears to be exclusive to Xbox, and there's rumors that Microsoft is going to be buying Avalanche games.
Nice.
So I could see that, especially because Avalanche has partnered directly with id Software to make Rage 2 in the past. So now, like, Microsoft's just super buddy-buddy with people.
Yeah.
But that had absolutely zero information about it. I'm assuming it's just a co-op Just Cause type of game, which sounds cool, but we'll see.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's people, I watched some stuff afterwards, and it was like heist. People were saying it's heist because of the,
oh, please.
There were maps. There were maps with like arrows and stuff.
I mean,
so.
That's why I love Payday games, the heists, and Grand Theft Auto's heists were awesome. They just needed more, so I would love a heist game.
Yeah, so maybe that's what we get. But I mean, it was so nondescript.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But actually, I was looking up, and did you know that Microsoft tried to buy AMD, or they were in talks at one point. They've been in talks twice
Christ.
to buy AMD.
That is directly because of Apple, I guarantee you.
Yeah, because they want to in-house their stuff for their computer.
They realize the only way to compete on the personal computer in terms of hardware is going to be to fucking make your own chips. Which is, they're going to be, I don't know, we'll see where those two companies go. But right now, everyone's playing catch up with Apple when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yeah, the in-house. Yeah.
It's disgusting how fast those things are. And
they're already coming out the M2. I mean,
I know. Or
M2.
There's also like the M1X or I don't know. I mean, they've been making a new A chip every year since the iPhone came out or whatever. So I don't doubt they're just going to keep making M chips. And honest to God, I don't see why they're probably just going to shove the M chip in the fucking iPhone somehow. I don't know how they're going to manage, but they put it in a goddamn iPad. There's like, how much room do you really need for that thing? And I wouldn't be surprised if we get to a point where Apple just makes one fucking chip and just clocks it for whatever hardware they put it in.
Yeah. No, I could see that. I could see that. I mean, they have the capability to do it now.
Yeah, it's clean, and I mean, it's a really nice ecosystem to be a part of in terms of like, yeah, your apps just go and your apps are just wherever your hardware is.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. There was a lot.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's Psychonauts. There's actually
yeah, that's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, Psychonauts is interesting. I'm not a huge we've talked about this Double Fine fan, but I'll give it a shot. I'm okay. I liked it's just weird. I mean, they're weird to be weird. And
yeah, no, they are.
It's not necessarily like it's good weird. It's just like, I don't know. It's like over the top. It's like.
It's not for everybody for sure.
I like Rick and Morty, so maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
I need to
still
watch that. I haven't really seen anything of that.
Yeah, it's good.
That's what everyone says.
And then, I mean, before we get to Halo, because we will, but there's Age of Empires 4, which I thought was awesome.
Yep.
Flight Simulator with Top Gun. I think that's awesome.
No, that's really cool.
I don't know what they're gonna do with it though. I like if Goose is there and Maverick's there, and I mean it's called Maverick, so
yeah,
I would imagine if it tells a story and it's like legit, that's awesome.
That's true. I don't know what I mean. I don't think there's a story to Microsoft Flight Simulator, but
they've had other games. They've had other games in the Microsoft Flight Simulator where you do like bomber runs or like they have little like war.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, not much. So I think this might be their take on that. It's bringing that back. I mean, even in the early Microsoft Flight Simulators, it was just like really lo-fi, shoot a box.
Yeah.
It's a type thing.
And on that, I was actually excited for the ray tracing presence at this E3 for Xbox. Like, it was nice that we're gonna get Microsoft Flight Simulator ray tracing on Series X. We're gonna get Forza with ray tracing on Series X, and Doom is getting ray tracing on Series X and PS5. So good for them. But
that's awesome.
I know. I looked at it and I'm like, shit. I literally last week beat Doom Eternal's last DLC, and I'm like, well, gotta play it again. Damn.
Nice. I'm way behind. Yeah, when they were showing off Flight Simulator, I was really hoping they would show off the like infinite tower.
Oh yeah.
The house thing that like glitched out. I just thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
If they put it in their little like as you're flying by.
Yeah. Oh, this was a couple days beforehand, and then got an actual gameplay showcase. But the new Battlefield looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was waiting on say. Yeah, it is. That's probably the thing I'm most excited about.
I am so happy that they decided that they're not going to do a campaign, because Battlefield's campaigns have been okay, but like they do multiplayer better. That's just that's what they do. And they said no battle royale. I think they're like, no, everyone else can do that. Yeah. We're going to focus all of the development on a Battlefield multiplayer. And that it shows. The things they're showing off and just the way the game is playing, it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. And I'm so fucking excited.
I mean, it is basically a battle royale without the battle royale.
Yeah, I mean, Battlefield's always been huge ass games.
Yeah, they're huge maps. So, and like, you're just going around killing people, but there's just no getting to the middle, look for stuff types.
Yeah, and I'm just happy to see that the idea of chasing trends is starting to die off on some of the bigger scales, and we'll get to Halo because that's directly related to that. But I just like that EA is like, no, or DICE is like, we try Battle Royale, it's just not going to work. You guys can do that. We're just going to focus on this. And I think it's due to the fact that Warzone and Fortnite are just so big. I think it's like World of Warcraft. They're just like, we're not going to fucking beat them.
And
why even try?
Yeah, but
I mean, I want to say yes, Apex, because that's the one I play. I don't think that's as big as the other two in any way. No. Man. Everyone plays Warzone, and then everyone else plays Fortnite. Like, there's a good amount of people play Apex, but that's more of like a new season comes out, wave, and then a week later they're dead.
Yeah.
But I love Apex. I do. That's my battle royale that I would play.
No, the coolest part about I'm really excited with Battlefield with the weather effects.
I know. Oh.
The tornado or whatever the hell that was.
Like that thing is sandstorm too. Oh.
Yeah, the sandstorm. It's gonna be so fun, like especially flying vehicles and driving vehicles into those things, and then having them affect the way you have to drive. It's just gonna be mayhem.
It's just so Battlefield, and I think this is what was missing from Battlefield 1 and 5, which like they made like the games looked fantastic and played just fine, but like the older World War I and World War II, they just like don't give as many of those cool moments because it's just boots on the ground, where you don't get the flying vehicles. And like Battlefield 4 had Levolution or whatever the fuck they called it, where the skyscrapers would fall down and stuff.
Oh,
so I think that Battlefield is just like, this is their domain. And God, I mean, seeing some of the clips from the other maps, like they have that ice map where they had the fucking ice boats going off, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so goddamn sick.
It is gonna be fun. It's the only like big team battle game that I actually enjoy. I suck at it. I'm terrible. But like in other games when they do like big team battle, it's okay. But like,
I mean, they said it's 128, right? 128 versus 128 on Series X.
Yeah, on Series X. They're gonna cut it back for the older
gen,
consoles. Yeah.
I think it'll just be 64.
They're cutting back a lot of
shitload.
They said they like reduced the game in a lot of ways, but I didn't get into the specifics. So
I don't know. I mean, I was thinking that this was gonna be just next gen only. I'm surprised that they are bringing it, but sure.
Well, no, it makes sense that they built it for next gen and then they're cutting it back.
Yeah, I like that more.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah,
this is the right way to do it.
Definitely.
Is to make it awesome and then limit the other ones. Yeah, Stalker 2 looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird-ass trailer, but it looks creepy. It looks gorgeous. Another game with ray tracing, actually, speaking of ray tracing presence. I don't think I've played the first Stalker, but it looks good. I don't
Yeah,
know
well,
if
I
they
mean,
gave that a
the
release
first
date or
Stalker is like
window,
really
but
old.
yeah, yeah,
It's a really old game. Um, yeah, and then Back for Blood. I'm excited to know that there's going to be more Left 4 Dead's.
yeah.
This
No,
one
that was
looked a
nice to
little.
see.
It looked a little bit more not as dark as Left 4 Dead though. It seems. I even know it
Yeah,
has a dark concept, but Left 4 Dead was really dark. I mean, just the rooms and the. I mean, there's the swamps and the. It's just a
yeah,
really
no, for
dark.
sure.
It's a really dark game.
Yeah, no, I like that they're going the direction that they are going with it, and it was cool because like you're watching like, oh, you're like, this is Left 4 Dead, but then you see the gameplay and you're like, man, this is literally Left 4 Dead, and in a good way though.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a and it's Valve, right? Valve
No, this
is
is
behind
not.
this.
No,
No, or
this
any
is
of their.
Turtle Rock. This is the team who made Left 4 Dead left Valve and made Turtle Rock Studios.
Oh, I didn't know that. Turtle Rock.
I
Okay.
think they made Evolve and that fucking failed, and now they're making this. I could be wrong though.
Oh,
I
Evolve.
don't.
Yeah,
I
with the big
think they made
monster,
Evolve.
right? That was the one with the big
Yeah,
monster.
it was. Yeah, the one with the
I
big
played
monster.
I played the beta of that. It was okay.
I think I also played the beta. I think everyone played the beta and then was like, it's all right, and then they left.
Yeah, it was decent. It was a fun night.
Okay, yeah. Turtle Rock
20
did make Evolve, so
Okay, well that's good. I mean, that was a unique game of all.
yeah. The idea was cool. It was just kind of like if I don't know, it's hard. Asymmetrical multiplayer games almost never work. Not in a way of like design. It's just no one plays them.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess when they talked about this afterwards, it was there's like only 3 zombies that you can inhabit. Like
Yeah.
you can't inhabit all of them, or they have a lot of ones that in the game that you're not going to be able to inhabit. So, but they could expand it as it goes along.
Yeah. The other game that really that I wasn't not blew me away, but I was excited to see was Shredders, the new snowboarding
Yeah,
game.
same.
I fucking miss snowboarding games, and this
Yeah,
one looks like
same.
it loves snowboarding. Like looking at the logo and the way they were showing it off, I'm like, these guys fucking love snowboarding, and they're doing it justice. And I'm so excited to play that. Apparently, it's
Yeah.
a spiritual successor to the Amped series.
Oh, cool. I liked
Yeah,
Amped. Yeah,
I
that was good.
know.
Those were good. I mean, because we had SSX, and then Amped came around. Well,
Yeah,
whatever order. But I remember it being a lot. Oh, this is the serious snowboarding game.
yeah.
Because there was also what was the 180 on N64?
Oh, Avalanche.
Uh,
No, that was Avalanche 1080 was GameCube. What was the one on the N64?
I think it was something 1080. I think it was just called 1080, wasn't it? Or
it might be.
maybe
I know the
Avalanche was the
GameCube
second
was-
second one.
Yeah. Can't remember. Oh, 1080 and 64. 1080 snowboarding, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just 1080.
And I think 1080 Avalanche was GameCube.
Yeah. So
Yep.
those games, they were all kind of not serious.
Yeah. I mean,
and
I love the SSX franchise, but yeah, it was not serious.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that there's another like serious game that you can actually something more on the lines of Skate.
Yes.
It's like the Skate
it
of
does look
snowboarding
like
games.
yeah, and I'm really pumped for that.
Okay, man, we went through the list. So now we could talk about Halo. You know what I thought was really funny?
What?
Was that Microsoft, they had one of the best showcases on day 2.
Uh-huh.
And then before day 3 starts, they go ahead and drop the best multiplayer experience that you can see. And then day 3 sucked. It went from that, and then we had to watch Verizon talk about nothing. And
Yep.
I just turned it off. It was like one of the worst days. And so basically they owned day 2 and day 3 just with a little clip. I don't know how long that was, but
yeah, I mean everybody left E3. Oh, the Halo community left E3 a little worried because of 2 things, which is no release date, which is like, holy shit, guys. Even Starfield just got a release date, and you guys still haven't, but it's fine. And the other thing was like they didn't show a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
They totally made up for it. The next day was 12 minutes of holy shit.
yeah, I know. It was amazing. I started shivering. I got that, when you're watching a video like of a new game and you get that like spine shiver thing.
Yeah, so before we get there, so the campaign stuff was super short and graphics. The only reason they showed that off was to show that the graphics weren't shit anymore. And wow, they've really done some fucking improvements. The game looks insanely gorgeous. Like it makes you look back and you're like, okay, wait, no, last year did look like a lot of shit, because this looks incredible.
Yeah. Well, as we knew it
Story-wise,
was
who
going
knows where
to.
that's gonna go, but yeah, I had a ton of faith in 343 based on the things they said afterwards, like, oh, we didn't have this. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then they delayed it. I was like, oh, okay.
And I actually thought in that shitty showcasing, they actually showed a lot more of the single player game.
Yeah.
And I actually liked the mechanics that I was seeing. Like, I mean, they showed off a lot of the, like, even that spike grenade. They showed that. They didn't show that this time at all. But hopefully it's still around. I think it definitely is.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
And I don't know why everyone got mad. I still don't know why everyone got mad. I was like, you know what? Chill. It looks good.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the Halo community for you. We're just fucking
Yeah.
minors. But and then wow, I mean, right before a couple days before E3 dropped, there was a leak out that 343 was going to show multiplayer off, which we knew, but they also had said that 343 was going to show everybody that they're making a Halo first game for people who love Halo, in terms of like Halo game modes, Halo like just everything about it is going to be super Halo, and holy shit, did they do it.
Yeah.
I think that my biggest worry was the free-to-play problem, which is like, what is it going to look like to get armor? And they just set a standard for the entire gaming industry for battle passes by saying you can buy the battle pass, you can buy previous battle passes, your battle passes never expire, and if you want, you can just level up to one battle pass and then level up to the next one whenever you want to. You can go to past one. Like, you never can miss out on content.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
And just giving away the multiplayer for free too, which is
like that's amazing. And I mean, when they said that last year, everyone was like, well, what does that mean? Because that's like, there's a lot of free to plays out there that are predatory, but like, I'm loving everything that I'm seeing.
Yeah,
I want to play so goddamn bad.
Yeah, and I'm sure. I wonder. I mean, they're gonna do a open beta, correct?
Yeah. Oh, you have to join the insider program.
The insider program. Yeah. So yeah, I need to get on that. Because that was it's always fun to play those games early. Yeah. Especially, I know they talked about it a little bit during the multiplayer day 3. But yeah, definitely want to get on top of that. It's so many things, like one of my favorite things is that the grappling hook is an attachment that you pick up.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's cool. So not everybody has a grappling hook, which is kind of nice, So it's not like everyone's flying around all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you special when you have the grappling hook, which I was a little worried about because I was like, well, if everyone's flying all over the place, sometimes it gets hard. It's hard to shoot people, but now you're OP if you have it, which is
I mean, it's super. I really like that they're recognizing what Halo 3 was doing and like how kind of great that sandbox gameplay was, and they're just like, all right, let's just like keep shoving shit into that idea, because the grapple hook fits so well into the game. And when they're showing it off of like using it to hack things or hijack things, get weapons, and it looks like so much fun.
And the other one was you get to choose when you use your like overshield and whatever you call those.
The power-ups.
Power-ups. Yeah. So that's awesome. And then if you die, you drop them, and other people can pick them. That's just so cool.
Right now it seems like there's a mixed reaction with the community of like some people are not liking it. I don't understand why. I think it's great. Like, I understand you don't like the idea of you're running around and then some dude's like, boom, fuck you, overshield. But at the same time, it's honestly more of a Halo thing if you can do that. Because then, you drop it. Like, then you fight over the equipment and stuff like that. I think it's a good choice.
Well, what if they don't use it in time and then you kill them and, then the other thing is for any of the cooperative, like capture the flag, it's you can make runs with it.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. It's like, okay, I got the overshield. Let's make a run. And then you get to choose, like, you can go in front, take the fire as other people come in behind you. And that's just, there's so many more tactics that can be played with this kind of setup.
Yeah, definitely. And there's 2 things that we saw from the trailer that the Halo community is getting annoying about, and I don't understand it, which that one was the first one, and I understand, but I think it's better the way it is. Because some people are like, they're complaining about that, like, in current Halo games, the second you touch overshield, you're invincible until it's done charging. And they're like, well, that's stupid and I'm like, I don't think this one is, because in the trailer you can see the dude start to put it on, and it's not, he dies almost halfway through his animation. So I don't think it's an instant thing like it used to be. So I think that idea of like, oh, he just like last minute saved himself is not going to be a problem. The second one is they're getting rid of red versus blue, and everyone's Spartan is whatever Spartan that they look like. And at first I was like, well, I liked red versus blue, but at the same time, it's kind of funny that this entire time we want to customize our Spartans, but then you jump into a lobby and you're just red, and you just kind of lose it. But I keep seeing people, they're like, how am I supposed to know the enemy team?
Because there's a name above.
And I'm like, guys,
there's indicators.
I'm like, okay, I get that Halo's always been red versus blue, but like, you realize no other fucking game has been red versus blue like this. Yeah. Like when you play Call of Duty, how do you know it's the enemy team? You see the goddamn red name. It's just like, I'm just like, do you guys not play other video games?
Yeah, there's enough indicators to let you know.
I know, I'm like, guys, it's okay. We'll get through this together. And then they came out after and said that in the trailer they didn't show off that there's outlining in the game. So red outline and blue outline for friendly and foe. Yeah, and they said they just didn't want to show it off in the trailer because they wanted the more cinematic look. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. It was just funny because literally like watching people on YouTube, there's like, this is gonna be confusing, and I'm like, holy shit.
It's because they can't find anything wrong with the game anymore.
I'm like, guys, it's okay.
They're like nitpicking.
I know, it's so funny. But
yeah, no, this is gonna absorb most of my time. I'm really excited.
Oh
I loved how all the weapons looked.
My favorite thing was that you can have your own AI. You can customize.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's something I never knew I needed in Halo. But it's so whoever had that idea 343, I love you. That was a genius idea.
Well, it's like Waze when you can like think about it. What if Snoop is your AI or like?
I know. I would love
it's gonna get
to
ridiculous
see if we could either have a modding community or just how I will pay money for weird ass AI like fucking now.
I can Cookie Monster is my girlfriend's Waze, and it's hilarious. It's like, you're gonna go 15 cookies.
Yeah, like I mean, in the trailer we saw one of the AI was like haul ass to your base at your earliest convenience. Was his AI, and I'm like, dude, this is amazing. And I knew like that's something I'm just like, just keep adding more and more. Like I want all sorts of shit, and if they can get celebrities to do voices, that would be so cool.
Well, and also with the storyline with Cortana being killed or something,
whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of. I mean, we didn't know. We only known Cortana our whole lives, and also since she failed on Windows, nobody uses her. Yeah. So maybe this will be a resurgence in Windows 11, and now there'll be any AI you want.
Oh my god, yeah. Someone's gonna fucking mod in Siri and Google Assistant into the fucking game. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I wonder if, I don't think they would there's no way to do voice control. So that would be interesting, but I don't think they're going to, that'd be
Yeah. I like they're definitely doing some callbacks to a lot of the older Halos, like the team flags seem like they're going to be the same flags that we had all the way back in Halo Combat Evolved, which was cool.
Yeah.
The oddball looked, just seeing that Halo was like, oh, we have oddball, because I just like that they're using classic Halo game modes that only Halo kind of has as their showcase, because the oddball looks fucking awesome.
So here's the thing about the oddball, and I don't know if this is a true thing, but I play Halo 5 quite a bit, and one of the most annoying things that they did in Halo 5 was it's not a single punch to kill people when you have the ball.
Yeah, it's so fucking dumb.
It's 2 punches.
Yeah,
and it's like
dumb as shit.
It used to be 1 punch, and in this, it showed it as 1 punch when they were showing the. So I'm like, please.
No, it looks like they're going back to the 1 punch.
1 punch, because it's when you grab it, there'll be 5 guys on you, and it's really cool when you can like kill everyone and get out of there.
Yeah, no, Halo 5 had a couple objective problems that were just so. They were way too competitive based. So one of them was the flagnim, which is you have a freaking pistol when you're carrying the flag, which I did not enjoy, and they removed it. It looks like because when they showed off the flag, the guy could not have a weapon at the same time, which is great because I like that it drives team gameplay rather than the god with the pistol.
Yeah.
So that was really great. On that oddball punch, the physics in this game looked like they really put some effort into.
Yeah. It's not just your old grandma's ragdoll.
No, like that guy went fucking flying, sent some fruit flying.
Yeah.
And then the my other thing that was awesome was the new Warthog variant, the Razorback.
Yeah, thank
I
you. Is
think
that the
that
one
looks so dope.
where two people can be on the back?
Yeah, you can put TV on the back, but you can also put equipment and other things in like
Yeah,
a
that
little
one.
compartment. Oh, that's dope.
I'm just glad that two people can, because the sucky thing is you have four people. You can play with a team of four in
Yep.
Slayer, and it's like, oh, sorry, go
Yeah.
find your own thing to do.
Go walk, bitch.
Yeah, and it's just nice that that somebody else can contribute, with their battle rifle on the back.
Yeah, and I mean they didn't confirm this, but the guy in the Vidoc said like you can put objectives in there. And what I
Yeah.
hear is you put the fucking flag in there.
Yeah, basically.
And that's interesting. I mean, you can put your dude carrying the flag inside of a Warthog, so it's not like that different because you can just blow up the hog. But I like that idea. I think it's really cool. But I like the idea that you can put a detached turret down, and then you can like take that to an enemy base and detach it and then use it rather than slowly walk the entirety of the map, and then you're gonna die.
Yeah. No, I mean, it'll be a lot of balancing. It seems like vehicles aren't that strong, though. When I was watching the multiplayer stuff, it definitely seemed. I mean, they're not, because it varies from Halo to Halo.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a lot of things that can destroy and also just grenades themselves, which is something I actually really liked and I missed from the older Halos, like Halo 2. I always felt like grenades had a big impact on vehicles, where I think Halo 3 they kind of didn't.
Well, I mean, I've been playing a lot of Halo 3, and man, those things, a grenade will send a hog flying.
Maybe it was 3.
But
I don't know. Somewhere down the line.
Reach 4 and 5 all had really heavy vehicles.
Yeah, heavy vehicles.
And it was like, yeah, the grenades just didn't really seem to do much.
So it's kind of nice because if you're going to be able to put the flag in the freaking vehicle, you better be able to disable it. Because otherwise it's just going to be unstoppable,
No, and I love that they're bringing in the destructible vehicles where you can blow off the wheels and you can blow off the HUD or the hood. And then they said that this was something that was in Halo 2 originally that they ripped out at the last minute for Bungie, which was the death vehicles, where once a vehicle goes on fire, you have like 10 seconds before it explodes.
Oh, yeah, so you can abandon it.
Yeah, which is funny because in Halo 2, there's one vehicle that does that, and it fucking annoys the shit out of me, which is the Ghost. Like in the campaign, you'll be running around, and you just hear this fucking Ghost start wigging out, and it blows you up.
Well,
but it's cool to have that in multiplayer.
I remember this in Halo 2, and I don't think I've noticed it in it. Maybe it was in 3. I'm not, but being able to shoot the gas tank.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's two gas tanks on the. I would say this would be the Halo to do that.
Yeah, because you could shoot the gas tank on the Warthog, and it would blow it up faster.
That would be cool. They've got to do that. That would be cool.
Yeah, and it was just like, I don't know. I always thought that was really cool. I mean, because it's a precision shot, but you could do it with the sniper rifle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a lot of stuff. Just a lot of cool stuff that hopefully, yeah, as you said, they're kind of mimicking the older Halos, which is good. Because I think those were the forefront of multiplayer. And that's kind of what we all loved in the first place.
Yeah, and like going back to when we were talking about Battlefield of the trends, it's nice to see Halo be like, fuck what everybody else is doing. We're gonna do Halo, because it's at that point where Halo is a very different game, and there's no other game that really plays the same way. So it's nice to get something fresh, new that's not just doing what everyone else is doing, which is, I mean, Halo 5 is fun, but at that time everything was mobility and jetpacks and flying and fast.
Who's the guy that used to work at Bungie that's now
Joe Staten?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so nice to see him back. That was really cool. Yeah, his story was, he left Bungie after they rebooted the Destiny story like the first time, and then he went back to Microsoft and he worked on, I think, Crackdown. He worked on a ton of other stuff, and then he just eventually landed right back at creative director of Halo, which is really nice to see again.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that's, I mean, he's been during the entire project, or?
No, he just joined on, like, when they delayed the game last year. Chris Lee, who was the creative director, left. I don't know if he was fired. He left.
Oh, I do remember.
Said.
Yeah, I remember.
And then Joe Staten's like, I'm back. And I don't know how much he's like been pushing or how far along Halo was, and he's just like, oh, let's just keep going. But loving what I'm seeing, and it is cool to just see him there. Yeah, I mean, this guy he's the guy who literally wrote the story of all of the Halos.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
that's good. Yeah, I mean, we have no idea. There's not a lot on the story of what
Yeah,
where
and
this one,
where
you would
Halo
know more
5
than.
left off, it's like Halo 5 left off in such a shitty point. Like it's so bad what they did with that story that arguably a solid idea would have been to just say that didn't happen, ignore it. But they're not going to do that. I don't know what they're going to do, but it seems like I don't know. It seems like they got it figured out, but I'm very excited cuz I have a lot of questions.
Refresh me. What happened in the story again?
Well, like, so Halo 4 ends with Cortana dying, and you defeat the Didact or whatever, who's that guy that you woke up on the Forerunner planet. So then Halo
yeah.
5
Okay.
takes place, and you play as Chief and Blue Team, whose Blue Team is his old squad from the books, which is cool. I hope they're back in this one. And then there's also Team Osiris. And the whole point of the game pretty much is that Chief is trying to get Cortana back because early in the game he has some weird vision about her. And so Blue Team just kind of goes AWOL and tries to find her, and then Team Osiris is hunting the Chief because he went AWOL. And then by the end of the game, you find out that Cortana is part of the Created, which is like this. She's pretty much like taken over AI, and AI are trying to take over the entire universe or whatever.
So like GLaDOS.
Yeah, and she gets access to this thing called the Mantle, which is this whole lore thing, and the game ends with the Cortana trying to like put Chief and Blue Team to sleep while she just fucking kills everybody. And she's like, it'll be great, it'll be heaven or whatever. And then you eventually like whatever, like don't let her do that. And she just then goes off. Like the game just kind of ends abruptly of like you meet back with Halsey and Cortana's a problem, and the game's like done.
Yeah.
And by problem, it's like you leave the game with Cortana going like, I'm going to go kill fucking everybody. And then the game's done. You're like, well, holy shit. And then this game's just like, okay, everything's not fine, but fine. Or apparently Cortana's dead and we don't know why she's dead. So like,
well, even Master Chief doesn't know.
Yeah, and I think that what they've done is like, yeah, Halo 5, holy shit, I don't know what to do with that. So what they did was they just were like, kill off Cortana. The game is about fighting the Banished, and during the game, you're going to try to unravel what happened with Cortana. So that it just kind of eases in people of like, it's still a basic go fight dudes, but then there's something else to be discovering along the way. So, and there's like so much fucking background lore to this, because what they're doing with Cortana and the new Cortana is actually something that happened a long time ago in the Halo universe. It's like the same, it's like history is repeating itself in the Halo universe, but that's too much right now.
Yeah, would that have been 2?
No, this is like Forerunner stuff, like ancient history in the Halo universe is repeating itself, and it's very interesting because it also takes place on Zeta Halo, and I'm super excited as a huge lore fan that reads all the fucking books. Super pumped.
Yeah, I know very little. I tried to watch a recap. Super confusing.
Halo 5 is fucking a mess.
No, just the whole. I mean, I'm sorry. All games of the '90s are very confusing.
Absolutely.
Or it's just because I don't think they expected them to go on this long. So I don't think that they. I don't know. The stories are very all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing that we talked about with like how it's nice, how it's like TV shows and Disney Plus and other ones are just like you get one season, tell your story. You don't have to worry about like maybe we have to tell another one. And I think that's a problem with games. Of like Halo 1, they don't know if it's going to be good, so they write a story that can be wrapped up, and then they're like, okay, now here's Halo 2. They're like, okay, well now we have to like make a good story, and we know we probably can make a third one, so we got to like associate that. And then Halo 2 had its own problems with cutting stuff.
And there's no like change in direction because the game is always going to be a shooter. So therefore, it always has to be an action-based storyline. So it's like you don't get rest. There's no like, time of peace or.
Yeah, and I mean, there's like overall like I mean, Halo 1 through 3 was just like bombastic, cool action movie shit, and it was cool. Although, as someone who's playing it when they were a bit younger, there was a lot. It took me a lot of playthroughs until I was like, I understand everything that's going on. And even then, sometimes like, oh, so that's exactly what was happening. There's some weird stuff in the game. And then Halo 4 was more about like exploring the Chief and the Chief as a human rather than a soldier, which was really, really cool. And then Halo 5, it's a fucking mess. I mean, even the development of that story was a fucking mess. So
yeah. Well, I like the multiplayer.
It is fun, and they took things from Halo 5's multiplayer, brought it to Infinite, and I think they didn't bring certain things that I'm glad, like they didn't bring back the ground pound, the Spartan fucking charge, the Spartan thrusters.
Yeah.
All the things like that it doesn't bring back, but it looks. I mean, they brought back like mantling and the sprinting, which is like the huge debater in the Halo community of whether or not the game should or should not have sprinting. It's back, but it looks like it doesn't actually make you faster.
Well, we talked about this because it really doesn't matter, if you can sprint because they just redesigned the levels to be longer. So it just takes you the same amount of time to get there anyways.
Yeah, so what it looks like they did was they are keeping in sprint, but when you watch them sprint in the trailer, they don't move much fucking faster. And the other thing is you pull your weapon out and you can shoot instantaneously out of sprint, which makes me think, and I watched this one guy, he pointed out that I think the reason they brought sprint is just for sliding and momentum. So like to build momentum to the grapple, you sprint, and if you want to slide, you sprint. But like you don't use sprint to get places faster. That's your base speed is your base speed.
The one thing I liked about the advanced movement that I hope that it's still with the slide and is it's just about being able to, you can get out. It's like if you're leading first, right? You can lead the base further out because you have advanced movement. So you can get around cover, so like if I'm in a firefight, I know I can retreat and I can get further out. So I don't know. It just, yeah, like there were so many times you use the advanced movement to get into cover, and then get your life back and then go back out.
Yeah, I mean, the way Halo 5 is sprint definitely changes the flow of a firefight that Halo has always had for different reasons. So we'll see how this one plays out, but it doesn't seem like sprint is the same. It doesn't seem like it fucking does anything other than puts you in like, it seems like more of a combo to give you advanced movement rather than moving faster.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that works. I mean, as long as there's a slide, I'm okay. Because I think that's
fun.
It's important. It just helps you get into cover faster, and I think it makes the movement a lot more fluid. But you know what? I trust this team. I don't think they're gonna screw the pooch. It looks great.
No, I think that was my favorite thing from these past 2 days is they just really took all of my worries and were like, nope, it's okay.
Yeah,
they're like, there's no part. I've seen nothing from this clips that I'm like, I don't know about that. Everything seems like it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, even the I know that they tweaked the needlers too, which they looked really good. I didn't see because they have the dual colors, right? The red and the blue.
Not the needler.
Oh yeah, that's the plasma. Yeah, the plasma rifle.
Plasma rifle.
Wait, but there's a needle rifle. That's what it was. There's a needler rifle.
Oh yeah, that was in Reach.
Is that in yeah? So I think that they added that into this game too. But yeah, the plasma. And then I know that a lot of people liked the plasma beatdown, which they showed off in the multiplayer.
The plasma beatdown.
Yeah, because if they have even if they have overshield, I think it's you can plasma somebody with the plasma rifle and then you can beat them down.
Oh yeah.
Which is it's a lot of people like that move.
Yeah.
Which they showed off. So it's cool because it's like we've heard a lot of people talking about what they like in the last couple of months. And it's like when they showed this off, they made sure to show everybody that they listened.
Yeah.
That they're aware of what the community wants.
Yeah, it really shows. Oh, and they also brought, I mean, this was also in Halo 5, but they brought back physics weapons where you can throw a grenade and it launches it like in Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah, so you
which
can grab
I was unaware. Apparently, doing that is called combat evolving.
Combat evolving.
Like apparently in Halo 5, if you grenade a weapon and catch it, you get the medal combat evolved. So the community calls it combat evolving, and I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. I don't know if that's what. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, Halo Combat Evolved was the only Halo that did that, I thought, but.
I've never used that. I mean, I guess if you got good at it,
it's a super advanced technique.
Yeah,
it's crazy advanced.
I mean, then it's like, are there going to be grenade jumps? And
probably.
That's all Halo 2 stuff. I don't know if they're like all the games past that.
I don't think I've ever nade jumped in a multiplayer game on purpose. I've crouch jumped and I've nade jumped in campaign a lot, but.
There's nade jump. The only one that I thought it was beneficial was Halo, because there were so many like spots you couldn't get to, and they were just in like you get on the top of Zanzibar, the back base,
yeah,
or like just crazy shit where you could get around, and like if you're in those spots with a sniper rifle, nobody can touch you. You're godly, and then There was all the super jumps, but I don't think they'll ever bring those back.
Yeah, no. I
uh,
mean, yeah, maybe the. I don't know. There's
I
always
mean,
the sword lunging jumps.
so the other part about this that is, and we didn't get to see anything of Forge, but they did talk about it a little bit.
They did mention it.
Yeah, they mentioned it, which is good, and you know, it looks. I'm really excited about.
I think that's my next big like. I think for now I'm like, you don't need to tell me anything more about multiplayer. Just give it to me. Campaign, same thing. Just give it to me. But yeah, Forge. The way they talked about it, it seems like it's part of the free to play package, which
Yeah.
makes sense because Halo 5's Forge I think is free on PC, but you can't play it on or something. You can build on PC, but you can't like play Halo 5 on PC.
It would also it would change the way that people were playing the game because all those Forge maps couldn't then be utilized by people that don't have
Yeah,
Xbox.
so I think it'll be free, and if Halo 5 is one of the best map creators of all time, so if it's just that but more, I think it'll be great, and I think that we're as close as we've ever been with having AI in Forge because they have bots in the academy.
Oh yeah, that's right, bots, which is really cool.
That is so cool, and I'm just
I
like,
was excited about that.
please put the bots in Forge. That's a hard thing to do, I know, but
Not really. I mean, I'm sure that it's the editor that they use. So
well, I
you
mean,
know,
it just depends on how they treat Forge. Because I mean, if the bot, it's mostly nav mesh stuff. Like if the bots are using a nav mesh that they built on a specific map, because they don't use Forge for map building. Forge is its own thing.
true, but if every single block that has nav mesh capability, so
Yeah, no, like
I mean,
yeah, if they built it in a way where it's like you build the game and then there's like a bake method because you got to bake the nav mesh at some point, which they have with lighting in Halo 4 and 5. You could build your map and then you could bake the lighting. So it's got to
yeah,
be the next. It's just it. That's what we've wanted since the first fucking Forge. So it's just got to be the next step.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot to it too. It's more than just nav mesh stuff.
Oh yeah,
But
I don't know.
yeah,
It's a big ask.
it'll be interesting. But yeah, I can only imagine what people could do with NPCs or just bots. They could make them NPCs if they wanted to, and they could make them dance.
Yeah.
Or do stupid shit. Hell, you could do shows in Forge, depending on how ridiculous they make the bot tech.
Yeah. I don't know. And then there's what I would love to see is us to have like Covenant AI, like just you can make your own firefight maps.
Yeah.
But again, that would be hard. But who knows?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it's a logical step,
I
and
think
it's
doesn't Far Cry allow you to do that though? I think Doom did too. Doom has this. They had Snap Map in 2016, and you can just build your own custom levels.
Oh yeah,
It's doable. They could do it.
yeah. No, but Far Cry does look good, by the way.
It does. It looks very pretty. Another ray tracing game.
Yeah, no, yeah. I like the direction they're going, but that wasn't part of this day.
Well, they did show Far Cry at Xbox's thing.
Did they?
Yeah, because I remember I was watching with a couple buddies of mine, and they were like, "I don't want to go to the bathroom. Like, I don't want to miss anything." Far Cry came, and like, all right, I'll be back.
Well, we've all seen it. That's why.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, we've all seen this.
The other thing that really confused me about Xbox is, do they not know what the word exclusive means?
I mean,
Because there were all
they
these games. What is console exclusive for games that are on other consoles?
That's what they mean. This is the only console you can play it on is Xbox.
No, but they said that they had I think that they called it game exclusive, console exclusive, but it came in front of games that have already existed. And I was like, why are you? That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
like Hades or
Hades wasn't on another console.
Yeah, it is. It's on Switch.
I don't know.
Yeah,
are you sure it was on
I don't know
Hades?
if Hades. What was another one? I didn't write down because they were all games I didn't care about, so I didn't write them down. But if I really wanted to, I could look it up.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
What does that mean? They're on Steam. I mean, the games exist, so they have to be on something.
Yeah,
and maybe not a
my
console.
understanding was that the Xbox console exclusive means the only console you can play this on is Xbox.
So, okay.
It might be on PC. It definitely is on PC, most likely.
Got you. So it's a PC port, and it's only being ported to Xbox.
Yeah.
Still a little confusing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when I see exclusive, I'm like, okay, well, this is coming out for.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we are at a point where there will never be a game that only comes out on an Xbox console. It's
Yes.
over.
Well, no, I mean, there a lot of these games like will only come out on Xbox, but then
No,
they're
they'll
also
be on
going to
PC
come.
too.
But they're not going to be on Steam.
No, but they're gonna be okay. Actually, yeah, but they're gonna be on PC.
You're right. They're going to be on Windows, which is owned by Microsoft. So I suppose you could say
Actually,
everything
we
that's on Steam is also exclusively Microsoft.
We should use the Microsoft vocabulary. If it's on Game Pass, that's what they're trying to push towards.
No, and that it was really cool. I love that everything was only two
Yeah.
games out of this whole thing were not on Game Pass.
Yeah, and
we're
I
not
think it
coming
was
to Game Pass.
I think that was Far Cry and Battlefield, like games that are just
Far Cry and Battlefield.
So I think for Xbox, there is Game Pass exclusive games, and that's it.
Which is what they should say. They should just be like, this is. But then what does that mean? If it's Game Pass exclusive and it's on Steam, then what does that mean?
Well, if it's Game Pass exclusive, it's not on Steam. It's on PC
Well,
through Game Pass.
I would have to go and look this up, but I guarantee.
I mean,
that
I'm
I
sure there
saw
are
a lot
games
of the-
on Steam and Game Pass that did not say this exclusive.
I saw a lot of exclusive words on games I already knew existed, and the only way they could have existed is if they existed somewhere else. So
Yeah.
maybe
but
it's
they
just
probably
me.
weren't on console.
I just didn't like the terminology. I was just like, come on. Yeah,
Yeah.
it did say console exclusive. You're right.
Yeah.
I just think the exclusive word should be, you know, only for games that are new games that are coming out. But I get it. It's a little bit of a shady terminology there.
Alrighty. I agree. It is weird, but we're out
No
of
worries.
time.
All right, man. All right, everyone. We will come back next week, and I don't know what's coming out, but I think it's Golf. I think Mario Golf, right?
Yeah, golf.
Is that the big game that comes out? And so we'll talk about that or something.